Now clap your hands and stamp your feet. This happens to be a treat wild treat.
Middle of nowhere. I just passed through some mountains. It's one of the tightest tunnels I've ever seen. It's 3 in the morning. I'm camped out in a state park parking lot. It's jet black. It's darker than it's ever been. Some people came and used the portal potty. I was asleep for 2 hours. And they woke me up. I had knocked out. It's super quiet.
It's probably 8 days.
Good.
I haven't been up there since I was a teenager.
I've always wanted to, and I've passed a million times. I never know.
Signed in. Rolling solo. JDM. This is like my uncle's driveway in Jamaica. Bro. This driving is exhausting. I'm so freaking tired. My body's tired. My brain is tired from concentrating. Whew. Man, somebody else is stuck, I guess. I'm in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, and I turn on the radio, and this is playing. Who here knows anything about this? They have a hip hop station in Nowheresville, West Virginia? That's crazy. Man, what a weekend. It is Monday, almost 2 o'clock. I got in this morning around 3 a.m. I forget what time I left yesterday, but I had to stop. I slept for 4 hours. I was so exhausted. I was all over the road. I was so tired. Friday, I left here at 6 o'clock. I got to Seneca at 11. Woke up around 6 o'clock. Check-in was at 6:30. Well, breakfast was at 6:30. Check-in was at 8. And had I known this was going to be the way it was, 1, I probably wouldn't have gone, so I'm glad I didn't know. 2, I definitely would have ate more breakfast. I had like an egg and cheese biscuit, the thickest biscuit in my life I've ever tasted. I almost suffocated. I just ate like some chips and 2 Monster energy drinks the whole time. Some grapes that my wife packed. It was scary. That's the scariest I've ever been in a vehicle. It was sketchy, but it was because I was falling asleep and there were like some steep drop-offs with just trees, no guardrails. I had some concerns about my vehicle making it. Once I saw how rough the trail was, you know, I didn't know it was gonna be that technical. Some of the water crossings were pretty deep. Overall, man, I had an amazing experience. I met some really good people that I linked up with about halfway through, and I finished the course with them. Tim and Joe and their ladies, some great people. I'm probably gonna link up with them again and, you know, do some shorter stuff. Man, I was delirious. I was so tired. 24 hours is long enough on its own, but off-road, where you're trying to keep your body in your seat, and then at nighttime, you know, thank God I added some lights, but we started to bunch up at night, so I couldn't really use them because I didn't want to blind the people in front of me. But oh my goodness, man, just concentrating at, you know, placing the car in the right spot, avoiding serious ditches and obstacles, whatever. It is hard. Hardest thing that I've done compared to this is bike track day, because you're so hot and everything is so fast. This is a different level, man. You're using everything, especially doing this by myself. I found out on Friday that my brother was sick. I was hoping it was just like a 24-hour thing and that he could meet me there, but he was really sick. By the time I talked to him Saturday morning, he sounded terrible. I hit up a couple of friends. Actually, I put it out on Facebook to see if anybody could come, and ultimately, people were just too far, getting out of work too late. It was last minute. And I'm at that age now where, you know, we're not as flexible as we used to be. We have obligations and kids and work and stuff like that, so I understand. I'm really proud of myself making it through to the end, driving that vehicle by myself. I did it definitely with the help of those folks that I met. Helped tremendously with me not having to drive and look at the map. Doing both, that was super dangerous, man. Taking your eyes off the road, because you're going fast at some of these sections, and then even the slow sections, you have to watch every bit of the road. Especially me, you know, my truck, not ideal at all. Matter of fact, there were some people that were coming up to me saying that they had taken bets that I wasn't gonna finish. Once I saw the course, I started to wonder myself. You know, in the beginning, I was confident. I knew the truck is more capable than people realize, but it shouldn't have been able to do that at all. I did learn that it's real-time, all-wheel drive, and selectable 4 high and 4 low. So I thought I had done most of the course in 2-wheel drive. But Tim, who was following me in a Sequoia, said that one section he saw my front tire spinning, and that was the section I had it in auto. So I guess when it slips, the front wheels kick in. But even still, I'm impressed. I mean, it has virtually no clearance. I have running boards, side steps. Did lift the rear maybe 3 inches, but with the air ride is starting to leak. So about an hour in, the back drops. So I would have to, stop and restart the truck so the compressor would kick in. But anyway, impressed with the truck. I'm honestly impressed with myself. At 11 hours, I wanted to quit. I was like, this is good. I've done enough. I could go home and be happy. But a huge part of me wanted to finish. There was no entrance that looked like me. And I know a lot of people were, you know, I heard some of the comments and laughter at the staging, and I mean, it's well deserved. It's kind of ridiculous to bring that truck to something like that, and so I understand. It's no hard feelings. I probably would have said the same thing if I was in a Jeep on 37s and I saw somebody pull up with this leather interior, TVs, you know, stock ride height basically on 33s, I would have been saying the same thing. But people started to radio me towards the end and, you know, say whoever's in the white Infinity, respect. Some people talked to me at the end, so it was cool, man. The organizer, cool dude. We raised, I think, like $12,000 for the Children's Hospital, so it was a good event. I'm glad I did it. I don't think I would do that again, though. 24 hours is too long for me. I definitely wouldn't do it by myself. If I had a truck full of 4 people and we could swap out, maybe. Even then, it would have to be the right 12 people, because the driving, you gotta know what you're doing. You have to be on it. Man, that's one of the most significant things I've done in my life. Respect to people that do that constantly. I finished in 27 hours and 20 minutes, and I was averaging 21.6 miles an hour, something like that. I could have done it under 24. Okay, maybe I could have done it in under 24. There were a couple vehicles that broke, and that got me concerned about finishing. So I slowed down, and when I slowed down, I did link up with Tim and Joe and their ladies. So we just, you know, we were concerned with just finishing. So we took our time. Maybe we could have shaved a couple of hours. We stopped for gas a couple of times and just, you know, stretched. I had to do a lot of shaking trees because, man, when you drink water and you're off road, that thing shakes your bladder loose. So I was, the majority of the time, I was feeling like I was about to wet myself. Thanks to the Back Roads of Appalachia folks for putting that event on. That was a good time, and I'm glad nobody, from what I heard, nobody got hurt. Nobody was unaccounted for. I think only 7 people didn't finish, but I wish I stayed for the banquet at 7 o'clock. We finished at like 2:30. All I could think of was just getting home. I just wanted my bed and I wanted a shower. I had never smelled that bad in my life. So I chopped it up with a couple of people, and then I left. I was all over the road. I was so tired and I was hungry. So I pulled over. Man, I woke up at a bank, and I realized, like, I had taken some stuff with me, you know, for my own protection, just in case. And I realized sitting in a bank parking lot with this stuff in my car is probably not the best look. So I took off, and thank God I made it home. I found a technique that works for me to keep me awake. I used my toothbrush. First of all, I just did it because my mouth felt disgusting. So I was like just dry brushing my teeth, and it woke me up. So every time I got sleepy, I just pulled out my toothbrush and I was just brushing my teeth. And that's what got me home. Super random, but it worked. If you don't do anything to challenge yourself and push yourself, man, I don't know how life is for you. Because without stuff like this, man, I don't know. It would be so monotonous and just boring. I don't even mean like something as extreme as what I did, but just challenge yourself in some way, form, or fashion. Intellectually, physically, actually both. You got to do both, physically and intellectually. You have to challenge yourself, because you'll gain respect for yourself and you will have a sense of accomplishment that you can't get any other way. So I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I know not everybody has the opportunity or the ability to do stuff like this, but it was a humbling experience, man. And like I said, everyone I talked to was very, very cool. Very cool rigs out there too. A lot of Jeeps, some FJs. There's 2 Sequoias. Only one Sequoia finished. The other Sequoia broke both its axles. Yeah, great time. Thank God for safety.
Fantastic.